Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a lovely 2012 model year debut. That was the year the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Control Automatic regained some of its traditional elegance. The watch had become a bit large and chunky in the image of JLC's 2000s era sports watches, but in 2012, balance returned to the force, and 39mm became the new size, slimmer, more graceful, and better suited to its use as a day-in, day-out semi-formal timepiece. In red gold, the watch has drama and grace on my 16cm circumference wrist, a handsome array of color, nicely contrasted with the silver of the dial. It is absolutely flat at 9mm with a sloped case flank, no trouble fitting underneath any kind of a dress cuff or tight sleeve. Lug-to-lug, 46.7mm, so almost any wrist can wear it. I recommend this watch for wrists as small as 13.5cm circumference. The spacing between the lugs is a versatile 20mm. You'll find many aftermarket and OEM options in that near universal size, but the factory strap is a handsome piece. As you can see, it is a semi-gloss, large rectangular scale alligator leather. It features a semi-curved spring bar that allows the strap to move in close proximity to the case without being constrained in its range of motion. There is a very thin sheer side that actually shows the layers of construction, a monotone stitch, and then on the underside calfskin it is a new JLC factory strap. And you can see it's made by Camille Fournier for JLC in France. The buckle is red gold to match the case, simple, polished, handsome, branded, but not one of the highlights of the watch. Those can be found closer to the case. Specifically, starting with the case band was thinned out and the lugs became more graceful for 2012. Rather than the blockish and sheer sports watch style lugs that the watch sported from its mid-2000s redesign to 2011, this was a more handsome taper with a very subtle transitional bevel that actually rounds off the top to flank transition. You can see the case band is thin, it's broad, and it's arced. It has a wonderful draped form that wraps around the periphery of your wrist rather than flaring out awkwardly. The crown is polished with a vintage-inspired dome-style profile, and you can see a hard step between the mid-case and the bezel with a straight conical-style bezel to add a little bit of visual strength and resilience. The dial is a dramatic silver sunburst, and you can see the action of that sunburst grain as I move it through the light. Compared to the well-known Master Control sector dial, the Master Control itself is finished to a higher standard, and that starts with the use of golden applique indices and hands. They are simply printed features on the dial of the sector. You'll also note that outboard there are luminescent plots. The sector is not loomed, the standard Master Control is. There's also a metallic aperture framing the date at 3 o'clock, and you can see the luster of the gold against the silver base makes for a handsome, nuanced, and attractive contrast. You may also note that the hands at center, they are Dauphine here rather than the Alpha style of the previous watch, but they are half frosted, half polished to aid their contrast against the dial base at any angle, and the hand at center for seconds is a heat-blued counterweighted lancet style or needle seconds hand. The watch features hacking or stop seconds. It also features a quick set date for rapidly cycling the date. Should the watch stop or encounter an irregular length month, turn it all over and you have JLC manufacture caliber 899, the upgraded and more technically adept successor to the well-loved and historically significant caliber 889. 3.3mm thick, this one is nice and slim with a number of features that put it among the ranks of the ultra-thin. Remember, the caliber 2121 in the Audemars Royal Oak 15202 Jumbo is 3.05. This is 3.3, so quite slim. In fact, the watch features a 38-hour power reserve, and you'll note that the rocker reverser from the old 889 has been replaced by a unidirectional winding system with polished wheel for greater operational winding efficiency, and the old steel bearings have been replaced with ceramic bearings, again in the name of minimum maintenance requirements and higher operating efficiency. The balance still beats way at 28,800 vibrations per hour, but the innovations of the 899 versus 889 include a laser welded hairspring at the stud and the collet for stability against shock, and a free sprung balance, again for stability against shock. The Master 1000 hours control, roughly 41.7 days of continuous testing, is a test of power reserve, winding efficiency, chronometric performance, and resistances, including water resistance of the fully cased up watch. and this watch harks back to the original Master Grand Tie, which was the first watch to receive the Master 1000 Hours control during the 1990s, and this case profile recaptures the grace of the old 37mm Master Grand Tie. The movement is nicely executed with a 22-karat gold winding mass in an era when brands are giving us 21 carats, 18 carats, or even the likes of tungsten and other base models, or base metals I should say, on their models. Here we get 22-karat gold from JLC. Circular Côte de Genève, perfectly aligned across the rotor onto the bridge. You'll note there's an engine turning or perlage on the base plate. All of the screws are kiln-fired, heat-oxidized, not chemically blued, and you'll note there is an open barrel, one of those features that helps the watch to be remarkably slim in profile. It keeps the movement thin. A handsome, tough, and accurate movement that can easily be regulated to keep chronometer-grade time. JLC's internal timing tolerance for each master control process per model, per family, is different, but the master control itself is held to the strictest standard in-house of -1 + 6 seconds per day. Remember, the COSC is +6 - 4 per day. You can see the master control and make it yours on the watch box. JLC Master Control Automatic.